Well, we're back, guys. This is going to be Pretty Little Liars Talk, PLL Talk, Season 5, Episode 1, Escape from New York. I did get home last night after birthday festivities around 10, and I started watching the episode, and I watched half of it, but I was half watching it. I wasn't really into watching it. So when I woke up this morning, I watched it in its entirety, and I'm glad that I got to kind of watch the first half of the episode twice because it kind of made things clear. So I wrote all things down on my phone, my evil eye case. So if I'm looking down, just so we can pretty much make sure I don't miss anything. I'm going to start off by saying that the episode was okay. Marlene King had told us before that this would be kind of a continuation of the finale, and I didn't think it was that amazing, nor was I surprised by anything. Well, not really. And, the episode starts where, they're getting Ezra off, and Noel's being, I believe, questioned by the police. And it just gave me kind of a flashback to when he was in the crowd when Maya was found. It just made me think, I don't know. Noel, to me, is still suspicious. So we see Ezra leave in the ambulance, and then we see A's on top of the ambulance. And Hannah calls and tells the police that it's Ezra Fitz that was hurt. It's not a coincidence, that. So Arya goes with Allie, and they take a gun. And I thought it was funny that Arya took the gun from Allie. She didn't want Allie to have it. So she obviously still doesn't trust Allie. And also, foreshadowing kind of for what happens at the end of the episode. So then you go to see the Hastings. And the Hastings know that Spencer knows that Allie was alive. And from a month ago picture they had. And pretty much Allie's mom, Spencer, well, you never know. Spencer's mom is kind of blaming her downfall with the pills and such for knowing Allie's alive. And Melissa's, if you remember from finale, Melissa tells her father something that she knows. And she tells her mom, there's something that you should know. So then we find out that Ezra was following A, and then A was following the girls. So that's how that whole situation happened. And that pretty much at the Hastings house, Mrs. Marin calls, just so some of the parents are connected to what we're seeing, which is the Hastings, and they're the most family to see at this moment. So the cops show up and say that Cece escaped, she killed a cop, and she knew that Allie was alive, and this and that. So then we see Mona, which I'm not surprised. Honestly, I really love Mona's character. She may be my favorite character. She's very complex and obviously very mentally disturbed, and, she's seeing that Allie's alive, or that people know that she's alive. Obviously, she knew that she was alive, and she just says this changes everything, right? Then we see A in a doctor's coat, which was kind of creepy to me. The person that they have impersonating A at this point obviously looks like a man, and we know that it's not Paige because Paige is seen later on in this episode. So our whole theory of that it's Paige, obviously not. So then A texts, it's happening, follow the leader. A follows Allie to a playground. There's tons of different A characters in black hoodies, and they're all like, we could all be A, and there's disturbing masks, and it was really creepy. They find out that Ezra's okay. He has a lot of I can't say that word. Artery damage. And we see Mona once again talking to somebody, which I knew it was going to be Lucas. I'm glad Lucas is back because he got very creepy and it was interesting. And she just said, you need to stay on top of this. We're mobilizing. So obviously Mona's army. Mr. Hastings looks very scared that Melissa is going to tell the mother or something. And Melissa says, if I tell, then Spencer will have a reason to come home. So I'm starting to think that maybe that's a twin thing. That somehow they're related, or I don't even know. And Mr. Hastings pretty much says, don't tell your mother. So the girls, they want somewhere to go stay and sleep and stuff, and Ellie says she has a place to go. We see a flashback, and they actually go to the Fitzgerald Theater, where Ezra used to take Allie. And Allie says, I need to go and I need to let my friends know that I'm okay. So at that time, when I saw Hannah and Allie together, I mean, God, they're looking more and more like twins to me. I'm not convinced that they're twins, but I feel like they're really trying to make them look even more alike now. It's kind of creepy. Shauna shows up at the hospital, pretending to be, well, I could tell she was pretending to be friendly to Arya. And then we see someone sneak into the theater while the girls are sleeping, puts a hand over Allison's mouth, and ends up being Cece. I thought it was going to be Mona, but then I was like, why? She's in Philadelphia. And she says to her, we don't just look alike, we think alike. She goes, remember when you asked me for help, and now I need yours. And pretty much Noel and her they go to a diner, and they give her a plane ticket, I believe, to Paris, and her passport. So pretty much Emily catches Allie leaving and still keeping secrets, so Allie confides in her and lets her know what's going on. Then we see Mona's army. Paige, Lucas, and there's other people that she hurt. And when I saw Paige at that group, I was just like, really? I wasn't surprised, but it kind of made sense. But Paige didn't want to stay and this and that. And it actually was very suspicious that she didn't want to be a part of it. When she went to leave, Melissa showed up. So I guess Melissa and Mona are on the same team. Which I totally thought they were on opposite teams. So now I'm starting to think that maybe then we saw Jenna and Shauna together with Melissa before. So now is Jenna on Mona's team too? Very interesting. I just kind of grouped that together. So I don't know what you guys think. So we find out that Ezra was paying Cece for information in Ravenswood. And she wasn't Redcoat. And she helped Ellie by saving Emily's life when she was in that box and she stopped the saw. Which we kind of knew already. Holbrook finds out that Ezra is actually Fitzgerald. He finds the theater. He calls. Arya is calling the theater at the same time she picks up, and Holbrook hears that Allie is really alive. So then we get towards the end. Shauna shows up with a gun to the theater. She admits that she locked the girls into the lodge and set the fire. When Allison sent her to Rosewood to find answers, she fell in love with Jenna and she wanted to get revenge on Allison for blinding her. And she said, why did you turn on her? And she just said, justice for Jenna, which should have been the hashtag for the episode. Arya shows up. She doesn't realize that Arya leaves the hospital soon after her and shows up and saves the day with the prop gun that we see Hannah playing with earlier, and hits her with the gun. She falls off the stage and obviously breaks her neck. So the girls think she's A, and they're like, oh, this is over. Obviously not. They don't realize, or they should realize by now, that there's a lot of people that are mad at Allie, and Shauna is not A. We know she's not. They think she is. And then we see Cece getting on the plane, has Vivian Darkbloom. Do I care that Shauna died? Absolutely not. Obviously she's not A because we know that she was blackmailed to leave and threatened to leave, and who knows what she was told to leave town, if we remember. Obviously, when the girls start trusting someone, those are the people that we shouldn't trust. So we all kind of knew not to trust her. And I don't really care that she's gone. Was I surprised that, she was the one that locked him in the lodge and set it on fire? A little bit. It's strange because I thought, and I'm pretty sure, that Jenna saved the girls from the lodge. Or saved Hannah. She saved Hannah from the lodge fire. So did she know that Shauna was doing that? I don't think so. I think Shauna pretended to be in the group with Melissa and Jenna. Remember when we see all those three together before that finale? And then she did that behind their back. So I don't really know. I mean, I still need to piece all that together because it's just what? I don't know. Maybe Jenna and Melissa, Obviously, they're on the same team, and then we see Melissa working with Mona now and Lucas and Paige. So maybe Melissa really isn't good. But Melissa's in that group because Allie was dating her boyfriend, and she probably blames Ian's death, because I'm still not convinced Ian's dead, at her, and she's another part of the group that the group of Allie, hurt me kind of group. And I thought it was funny because they're all like saying what she called them, and I'm just like, somebody said whore, and I'm like, really? Like, what girl has not been called a whore? And really, you take that seriously? Like, come on. I thought that was corny by the writers. Like, come up with something better. So that is season 5, episode 1 recap, PLL talk, ramblings, and everything else. What am I excited to see? Allie's coming back. I'm excited to see what what are they going to do? Try to make her life hell? Is that going to be interesting to watch? I'm not saying that I'm a fan of Allison, but I don't know. Is it going to be interesting? I'm not sure. Now, I found out, we're going to have a 6th and a 7th season. And I'm just like, what can they possibly, like, they're just going to drag this out even more. We're never going to find out answers. You guys know that, right? Like, how long did it take us to find out who really did the lodge fire and stuff? Like, come on. Cece's going to be gone now. So Cece, like, her story is not going to be around. So I don't even know. I don't know what I expect from this season. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Like, what do you think this season's going to be like? I guess we'll find out, right? So I will talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next week. Bye.